I ran the numbers on hundreds of marriages where we stopped divorce and helped guys win their wives back. Their success comes down to a single equation. When men follow it in order, we consistently see divorces stop and reconciliation rates rise.
She's moved back in. We're back at it sexually and everything, and almost like it never happened, really. Kind of like when we first started dating, um, except better. More. Go on trips together.
In the next 60 seconds, I will reveal that equation. Then I'll show you how to run it with the PRO framework. There are 3 simple steps that soften her guard, stabilize the marriage, and draw her back naturally, even if today looks completely hopeless. And by the way, the third alone will take you 90% of the way there.
You have more of a chance of getting your wife back.
The best opportunity to get your wife, right?
So let's jump in. Here is the equation that has positively impacted thousands of men's marriages. Have a listen.
It seems so simple, but it does make all the difference that having new information, perceiving things a different way from a different lens allows you to show up differently, which gets new results. Like A plus B does equal C in this scenario.
Grant followed that equation with an open mind. He began at rock bottom like a lot of men do that we help, and his wife was completely done. Picture the scene at his in-laws. I mean, she starts broadcasting exactly how she feels.
We were at my wife's family's house, and she's just, she's way too far gone, and she just yells at her whole family, I'm not happy, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on here.
Then came the bomb. She already talked to divorce lawyers.
She's like, yeah, I've gone and talked to lawyers and about divorcing and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, it kind of just threw me by surprise.
Yeah, seriously.
I didn't know it was like that,
So she moved out. Grant was gutted. Even when it felt hopeless, he mustered up the courage to make one last all in for his marriage.
My parents went through a divorce. I didn't want to do that to my kids. I wanted to try everything that I possibly could to, at least, change my mindset on everything to, kind of figure it out, and at least give it the, all my all, give it the one last try. If things didn't work out for whatever reason, at least I knew that I'd be a better man,
That's when he found us and applied this framework. But even with a proven blueprint, Grant hit moments of real doubt.
There was a couple points during this whole, the whole journey that, there was a couple times where I was like, man, I just, I don't know, maybe we are too far gone. I don't really know, but I kept trying and, stayed with the program.
However, his consistency, it really paid off. And it started with the first step. It lowers her defenses and gives her proof of change, not simply promises. Give a listen to how Grant describes it.
What about the element of not being a victim and taking full extreme ownership over everything in the relationship?
Yeah, I mean that helped me like more towards the beginning of like after she moved out and stuff like that. I there was one time she was back at the house with the kids and stuff like that, and I pulled her aside. I was like, hey, can I talk with you, real quick? And I kind of I talked to her about that, like just face to face, and she's like, oh, you understand that? And I'm like, yeah, that's that's one of the things that I've learned through this course.
The first step of PRO is personal responsibility. It's owning your half of the mess, your words, your tone, your reactions, your promises, and your follow through. How all of them have made her feel unsafe over the years. Think of trust like this in bank, right? Every time she felt unsafe, that was a withdrawal. Now you make small deposits every single day. How you speak to her, how you handle your emotions, how you can really carry yourself when she's not around. And that first major deposit is taking that personal responsibility, man. I mean, even when it's not all on you.
I knew it wasn't just me, I knew it wasn't just my fault. It was both of us, obviously. But, I looked at her one night and I was like, listen, I'm sorry for what I've done. I didn't, I know now that I was doing a lot of things the wrong way. And, I apologize for ever putting you through any of that stuff. And, not only am I sorry, I'm proving to you that, I am fixing myself, not necessarily, I never said for you, I said, I'm not doing this for you. I said, I'm trying to make myself a better man, and, and in result, me becoming the better man,
I mean, just look at how it softens her. It opens the door to connection again.
she, is more comfortable around me and, can talk to me about anything, and she feels safe again.
But personal responsibility, I mean, that's just the beginning. Now we handle those unavoidable, heated moments when they inevitably arise. This is a skill that stops the fights, not only stops the fights, but uses those heated moments or bickering to actually go deeper into connection and reveal parts of yourself to actually heal and grow together. Now, hundreds of men say that this was a turning point in their wife coming back because it opens the door to connection. And Grant is no different.
A lot of things was like not reacting to her, and her emotions and how she's going to, throw them at me. And like, I had no idea about like tests and stuff like that. I mean, now it's just like I know what's coming. I just stay relaxed and kind of don't even absorb it. Just kind of know what's happening. I'm like, okay, just remain calm, and I'll put my 2 cents in. I don't try to solve her problems. I mean, it all makes sense.
The second step of the Pro framework is something that I call reactive control. You can handle her big emotions, her tone, the jabs at you that push you over, that really press those buttons, because you keep control of how you react to it. Now, this is absolutely crucial in making her feel safe, heard, and seen, which you know that she needs to be with, to actually experience with the guy that she wants to be with, right? So it corrects those blowups. It keeps the room warm so you can connect on a deeper level. Studies show that high heart rate and tension during fights, it really chips away at the happiness in a marriage over time. So when your body stays in a calmer situation or a calmer mode of being, an embodiment, the conflict is handled better and you guys actually get closer together. That's opportunity for growth. Now, I can give you practical steps on how to achieve this, like what I do before I press record. Some deep, slow breaths to relax your body, right? Keep your hands open. Look at her deep in the eyes. Don't try to think of something. Don't try to change how she feels. All these are practical techniques when you're in the conversation with her that help you go into that relaxed state, which then you don't have to look for the right words. The words will just come out because so much of communication is nonverbal. So if you're keeping your calm tone and your calm demeanor, you're holding your own energy.
It seems so simple, but it does make all the difference that having new information, perceiving things a different way from a different lens allows you to show up differently, which gets new results. Like A plus B does equal C in this scenario.
Do you see? Because your wife's sharp words at you, pressing those buttons, they're just tests. She's checking for something inside of you that most men, they're not even aware of.
So in regards to tests, a lot of guys, what they think when their wife is testing them, she's jabbing at me, she's poison dripping me, she's criticizing, she's being mean, she thinks I'm not enough, all of that, right? When in reality, if you perceive what the test is actually searching for, which is she's searching for connection and making sure you are the man that you say you are, that you're strong in who you are, you have that masculine nature, you show up with love, you hold space, completely different perspective, right? And that leads to this massive change in result, right?
And a lot of the times it's if she is upset or mad about something, it's just the situation, not even something that I did. And I never realized that before either. It's just kind of like, okay, well, now I understand it. I know she's not mad at me about it. She's just mad at the situation or something the kids did that kind of upset her or whatever. It had nothing to do with me personally. And, I try to not take things personally anymore.
She's checking to see if you can be steady and stable. Then when she's in her emotional storm, then you can lead her out of that. And that's what a masculine leader does to make his wife, woman, feel safe, which is what she needs to maintain respect and admiration for the man that she's with. And here's the kicker that will make every complaint make sense.
Another big component of it is, and this one was a game changer when I realized it, is that every complaint she does have, you can take it from the frame of test, but you recognize that every complaint she has or criticism or not being happy, if you will, it comes from a place of she's not feeling emotionally safe, right? And that lack of emotional safety, it can come from within in herself for sure. If she's had a bad day, she's feeling anxious, whatever it is. But a lot of times it's because as the guy, we didn't lead her enough recently, or we reacted to her, or we said something, then pulled back, and we're inconsistent, we're lacking integrity. All those things make a woman feel unsafe with the guy they're with, right? And she consistently feels unsafe. We talked about the emotional tipping scale. You remember that?
Right.
You're slowly putting these investments on the negative side, and that's when she completely changes the story of how she feels about you. And it all centers back to this idea of emotional safety. So if when she's upset, if you're like, oh, how is this making her feel unsafe? And how can I make her feel safe with the frameworks we teach? that gives you the principles on how to like create that safety.
Right. And she did mention, like, while we were going through our, bad times, it was kind of, it's like, I just don't, she would actually tell me, I don't feel safe around you. And I'm like, well, I know what that means now. Not like that I can't protect you, because I mean, I can do that, but I know now that you don't feel emotionally safe with me
Right.
because of the way that I've reacted before, and yelling at you or whatever. Instead of being calm and collect about the whole thing, my mind's just going crazy.
The man who stays calm under fire, he shows up for her at a primal level. He can handle what comes next, not just with her, but then she can trust him to just handle anything.
There was one place that we went. It was like just some free live music, and the kids loved it there, and they had fun, and it was then when we were at these events, I noticed that she started like kind of noticing me a little bit, like, and then there was one time where she just came up and kissed me and it had been, I don't know, months and months before, like, since the last time she had kissed me or anything, and I was like, I kind of looked at her like, what? Oh, okay. So that's when I kind of started noticing those differences.
Now, if you want a chance to learn this skill directly with me or my coaches, click the link down below, set up a call with our team. It's a free strategy call. Just make sure you're fully committed. And when you pair the first two principles with this next one, you hit the peak of the journey when you're back, okay? Because you create an effortless, irresistible pull toward you. Give a listen to our conversation.
There's a few of the guys, a few of the brothers that I had talked to, a couple of them on FaceTime and stuff like that. And they're like, dude, if anybody in this program is getting their girl back, it's going to be you. They actually told me that. I'm like, no, that's kind of what I'm going for in the long run. But I'm just trying to change myself to be the better man.
There's the outcome focused guys, which is like those guys we talked about, and then there's the process focus. So like the third variable with this talked about paradox would be, I'm doing this for myself versus for getting my wife back. And so many guys, like, they tell me, I'm not sure if you felt this way, but they're like, Josh, I realize this program's not about getting my wife back. It's about becoming a better man. I'm like, yeah, obviously. Like,
Yeah. Being the better man, you have more of a chance of getting your wife back.
the best opportunity to get your wife, right? Like, if there was, if some guru coach out there saying, I have the magic words to get your wife back, he's lying to you, right? So
it's something that you truly have to have and want for yourself. It's not for her. It's for you, and that's it.
We're talking about letting go or outcome detachment. It's when you stop trying to force results, right? You live your plan. This is important because it corrects pressure and neediness. It makes space so she can breathe, watch, and come closer on her own. That is the paradox of attraction. When you stop chasing, she starts choosing you. There's actually a really a classic cult movie called The Tao of Steve, okay? Check out this scene.
No. Oh, dude, there's a certain order you're supposed to do things in, and telling someone you love them is definitely last in that order.
There's a moment where Dex, like the amateur guy in the film, he gives Dave advice when he thinks he's, wearing his heart in his sleeve.
Okay, we pursue that which retreats from us.
I just don't get the whole retreating thing,
Look, chicks are like hunters, man. They want to bag a lion or a bear, something really hard to catch. And along comes Dave, and you're like this affectionate little puppy. You're cute, but you're way too easy to catch, and that bores them. And with chicks, boredom equals death, man. You can't bore them.
I know most logical men, when they hear these things like energy and intuition, and it can be frustrating for someone who's very logically minded, but there is this culture of energy between you two, this atmosphere. Just because you can't see it and you can't tangibly grab onto it, she feels it. I know you do too, okay? And there is something about just the law of attraction when you attract things into your life. Think of all the success you have in one area of your life. Think of the paradigm you live through with that. Let's say it is business. A lot of men, they're very successful in business. And if you're not, this will also help you make more money. When I would work with people in the drug addiction field, and I would talk about money or rich people, they would be like, oh, all billionaires are greedy, all corrupt, all money is the root of all evil, right? And so they were naturally pushing away money. Well, it's the same for a lot of men with women, right? When you have too much of an aversion towards something, or you need it too much, it retreats from you. Money, woman, success, right? Just people liking you in general. But when you're able to imagine yourself with her, okay, and you're saying to yourself, I am good with or without her, that when you are next to her, talking to her, you have this positive green radiating energy, thinking at any moment she could leave me and I'll be okay. I'll be okay. And a lot of men, once they can really let go of her, they're like, you know what? I've already lost her. I'm still alive. So anything else, any interaction with her is just bonuses. They have a sense of gratitude even in the fights. Can you imagine yourself? She's talking to you, she's yelling at you, she's fighting. Instead of getting upset, oh, she's hurting my feelings, oh, she thinks I'm not good enough. You have gratitude that she actually cares about you, that she's willing to give her time to you. And even further, you want to go further than that. You're like, she's lucky to be talking to me. And not from a place of I'm better than her, but you just have gratitude towards this pattern of love that you have, that you can actually feel something. And when you can step into that mode of being good on your own, having gratitude for every moment you have with her, that's when you embody this guy that she's just like, who the hell is this person? You've really changed. And of course, she's going to test that. But we help you, give you frameworks for passing those tests to step into that masculine integrity that draws any woman in. I know you want your wife. I'm saying it will draw any woman in. You can learn this skill that no matter what, you can carry forward with you in life. You can embody charisma, confidence, passion, discipline, integrity. These are the core pillars of the man that you used to be. And now you're going to step into a further, more evolved, higher level 2.0 version of yourself. Okay, that's what we help men do behind closed doors. Yes, we help men save their wife, but that is the process, is becoming the best version of yourself. And if you have that fire under your ass, do something different. Set up a call with our team. And if not, just do something different, okay? All right, man. Thanks for watching. Here's another video on another client, Marriage We Saved, which this one is actually really incredible. If you feel like there's ever hopelessness in your marriage, check out his story. I'll see you in the next one.